You had said 30 feature films is one of your goals?
That's in my head. I know that I want to do a lot of movies. I don't have a set at 30 in my, I say that to people so they understand that I'm doing this for the rest of my life and I'm going to make a lot of movies. And I think it'll get easier and easier. So eventually I might be making a movie a year, you know what I mean? But it's when my team around me and my financiers and all these kinds of things are moving faster. Now it'll be in the beginning it'll be less movies because it's harder to make a movie now. It's harder to raise the money, it's harder to, find the right crew and all that kind of stuff. But as I make more and more things, there's certain crew members that I'm like, yep, I'll use him every time, as long as he's available. I want to use the same script supervisor, I want to use the same, gaffer, I want to use whatever. So you get a team going on as you make more and more things. And that's part of the learning too, because when you're on a movie, everyone's sleep deprived, you know what I mean? It's rough, it's a rough situation. Everybody's underpaid and overworked. So you see people's true colors. Some people lose it, some people get angry, some people curse. And you really don't want, it affects the movie. You really don't want negativity on a set. It spreads like wildfire. I've been on enough movies to know. Once one person starts complaining, other people start complaining, and then they start making fun of the movie, and then the whole thing goes to shitty. So I try to get rid of negativity on my set, and hopefully I can fire the person or get rid of them if it's my movie. And just get rid of them, because it's like, well, if you don't want to be here, you should just go, and replace them. I've only had to kick one person off my set, and I've only had to fire one person in my career, so I'm lucky that way. But I try to vet people pretty well, but sometimes when you're in the middle of it too, it's very hard to get rid of somebody, in the middle of making a movie. If you're in the middle of a war, you can't exactly replace the guy shooting the gun next to you if he's bad. So you just got to roll with it sometimes. But then you won't use that person again. You'd use somebody else. Because keeping your cool and having a positive attitude is so, so important.
Well, and there's a lot of people that love to, in the quote vein of good advice, tell you things, and you're never sure what their angle is. There's a lot of agendas here. And so I think that I find it interesting that you had someone tell you that you couldn't do the film, and they were just, quote, trying to be honest with you, and maybe they were, but were you able to then kind of like brush that off and keep going, or did it kind of fuel you and you had a chip on your shoulder a little bit?
I think anyone who's going to make it in this industry, like people telling you can't do it, has to be your fuel, because you're going to hear that a lot. If you're an actor, if you're a director, whatever position you are, especially the more higher up creative positions, people are going to doubt you. And if you let that discourage you, you're not going to get to where you need to be. And even if you believe some of the things they say, you have to learn, you have to admit to yourself that you're learning. You're always learning to get better, you know what I mean? I've seen interviews with Steven Spielberg, he says he's still learning, you know what I mean? So everybody's learning as they go, and take it easy on yourself, In my opinion, WALLY Got Wasted, people seem to love the movie and they laugh a lot, but is it the best movie I'm ever going to make? I hope not. I hope I get better and make even better movies, and everything that I learned on this movie I can take to the next movie, so.
Do you have a barometer for when you think that you've quote unquote made it?
That's a good question. I think a lot of people have a really tough time with that too, because I even see interviews of big actors and stuff, and the struggle is so real. They have so many years of not working or trying to get a job that even when they become a movie star or a TV star, they're constantly trying to take as much work as possible. They don't want to turn anything down. They're scared to make a mistake, because the moment you turn something down, you might not work for a year. So I think everyone has a struggle with trying to get where the pinnacle of where you want your career to go. I'm lucky because I mean, at this point in my career, and I think for the rest of my career, I would do this for free. So it's a little different, like a lot of people, they hang on to money or this and that. And for me, if I'm not motivated by the creativity of it, I don't think I could do it. I've turned down jobs already where people want to pay me to direct things, and if I don't vibe with the material, I just can't do it. And that's something I've learned in my life in general. If I'm not heartfelt about something, I can't do it. Like, in my life, I got my real estate license and I did other things. but without the passion, I'm just not effective compared to something I'm effective about. You can't stop me when I'm creative and passionate about something, but when I'm not, it's very easy to stop me.
Is that your Libra scales?
You know, I think that more
Balance.
comes into play with my negotiating skills with people, you know, and like a lot of the movie was negotiating, you know, and the scales is like, well, what do you want? You know, try to figure out what they want, and if I can help them get what they want, either promise them that I'll help them later or give to them what they want now. But what I don't have right now is money. So whatever I got to do to get you to help me at the moment, I will do, but money I don't have to give to you. So it has to be something else. So, you know, and like you hire a DP, but he's only DP TV shows, or he's only done this or that, but he wants a feature. You got to find that person, you know. You got to find the people that they want what you want, and that's the reason that they're helping you. You know, you know, they haven't done a feature or whatever, you know. And same with actors. You find a really talented actor that hasn't been a lead in a feature yet. Well, he's going to show up every day for free if you want him to, because he's doing his dream too, just like you're doing your dream. And that's a problem for a lot of people. They go, oh, please help me, and they go up to the people at the top and want them to help you. Well, these people are making a living. They have no reason to take a chance on you. It's the people to your left and the people to your right that you need to depend on and build and grow together.
Do you think that part of making it is never feeling satisfied? Because then you're always looking for that next thing, and if you were complacent or content with something, you wouldn't.
I think a lot of people, I think, have that. They have a pinnacle of what they want in their head. For me, like I said, I would do this for free. I love doing this, so I would just keep doing it. Whether, you know, I secretly, I mean, I got to convince people to give me money to make movies sometimes, and I do. And I mean what I say when I think it's going to make money, but I would do it if I didn't make $1. So I love telling stories. I love seeing the reactions that people laugh. I love, you know, I don't want to always do comedies, but comedies are very rewarding because you know if it's good or bad to people because they're either laughing or they're not. So that's one thing about everything I've done so far has been mostly comedy. Everything that I've written and directed has been comedy. And it's very easy in a theater to know that they're liking it or they're not liking it. So it's been interesting.
With WALLY Got Wasted, did you have to redo the first 10 minutes to appease the distributor, or was it already sort of built in because you knew that?
So WALLY Got Wasted, actually, we got offers from a lot of distribution companies, but we ended up self-distributing. So we actually are self-distributing the movie. We don't have a distributor. Oh. We went through an aggregator to get on all the platforms. Right now, we're exclusively on Amazon. People can get it on Amazon and rent and buy it on Amazon. We'll go on iTunes, I think, and Video Demand, Vudu, and a bunch of other platforms here in the next week or so, I believe. And we just did it through an aggregator. You pay an aggregator, and they put it on the platforms. And because mostly all the distribution companies that we talk to, none of them were going to put any money in advertising. And I was like, well, what are you actually doing? You know. And they would come up with things like, oh, you know, all the big companies, because we're a distribution company, that you'll get higher on the algorithms to be seen by people. And I'd be like, well, where's the proof of that? I mean, like, you're telling me this magical story of like, oh, I signed with you, everyone's going to see my movie on the platform, compared to paying an aggregator to getting on there. But there was absolutely no proof to that. It was just something that distributors would say. And I was like, there's no proof to it. I can't drink the Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? So that, and you know, we have money that we're putting in advertising, so we're doing that ourselves. And also, we wouldn't see, now that we paid an aggregator, we can see how, you know, from the advertising, who actually buys the movie on the platform. When we can't with Amazon, unfortunately, their algorithms isn't as good, but on iTunes and some of these others, we should be able to run an advertisement. They can click on the advertisement, and then we can follow to see if they actually buy or rent it. But Amazon, unfortunately, we can't do that yet. Hopefully they fix that. But yeah, we decided not to go with the distributor. And distributors, some want 20%, some want 30%, some want 40%. And some of them, I mean, that's the thing. If you're an independent movie and you're not going to put any money into advertising, you're not putting any energy into advertising, you have no interest in it, then some of these distribution companies are a good option because they put 10, sometimes 20,000 into getting you on all the platforms and all the countries and all these kinds of things. And you don't have to put out that 20 grand. But if you want to bank in yourself, which, you know, me and Seth that we're talking about, it's like we've banked in ourselves every step of the way here. You know, from making the movie ourselves to now distributing ourselves, we banked in ourselves. So let's just continue to do that. And I hustle my butt off to try to get the word out and get people to know about it. And we casted 7 big social media people in the movie. We have 7 big YouTubers, Instagrammers that would hopefully spread the word, and they do videos and stuff on it too, so you have that as well. But it's exciting. It's exciting getting the word out there and working on it. And I see the numbers coming every day. You know, sometimes we have 150 people rent or buy the movie in one day, and it's like, you know, some weeks it's like that every day. And like, wow, on a Wednesday, 140 people paid money to watch my movie. It's insane to me. It's crazy and rewarding and exciting. You know, so.